readiness of Syria to join the Convention of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Russia and United States started this process, and with full support of Security Council of United Nations. The procedure timescale were set up, and the report was made within some year and a half. All Syrian chemical weapons were destroyed. This is fact. It's in black and white, written in the papers, United Nations documents. Yes, there is always opportunity to clarify those or other aspects of destruction of chemical weapons.
For the Reuters Live.
There we were just listening to the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov speaking there at a joint press conference alongside the Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Muallim and the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif. They were meeting there in Moscow. Of course, there's tension between Moscow heightens against the US over the conflict in Syria. Last week, of course, we saw the US launching a missile strike against the Syrian government forces after a chemical weapons attack in Idlib province. That was against Khan Sheikhoun, chemical weapons attack that killed around 80 people. We were hearing there from the Foreign Minister Walid Muallim that Syria was not involved in that attack, that they did not have any chemical weapons, and that had been endorsed by the international community in 2013 when they'd got rid of them under the Russian supervision. They said it was a staged operation in Khan Sheikhoun and that they would not use chemical weapons against civilians, not even against their own, not even against terrorists in Syria. We also heard from the Iranian foreign minister, who is calling for an independent investigation, calling for a clear picture of what happened in Khan Sheikhoun. They've got the three allies sitting together there at a press conference and a meeting, consolidating their joint fight. Let's cross over to Rory Challens. He's joining us now from Moscow. He was also listening in. Rory, there we're seeing the three foreign ministers standing very much together, maintaining their position as they have done in Syria, despite recent events over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think you can tell how rattled they all are by the US cruise missile strikes, and how much they feel that this destabilizes their partnership and throws what I think they all assumed was a reasonable amount of control over the military sphere in Syria's war, throws that control into disarray. Up until Donald Trump ordered those cruise missiles to come raining down on the Syrian airbase, the United States had basically limited its involvement in the Syrian conflict to air operations against ISIL and also its more financial support for the rebel groups on the ground. But this changes things, and everyone in that room that you've just been watching speak there knows that. That's why they're reacting so strongly. They're calling it an act of aggression, and they're demanding that the US does not strike Syrian sites again. And then there's also all the diplomatic chaff that seems to be thrown up about calling for an independent investigation into the chemical weapons attack. Well, we've got to remind people that there was a UN Security Council resolution that was put forward by the United States, the UK and France on Wednesday, the second time in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that called specifically for an investigation,
Rory,
but it was vetoed by Russia.
gonna jump in there because we've got the Russian foreign minister speaking again, so we're gonna jump back to him.
Another strange thing, since the very beginning of this incident, United States demanded full access to this military air base. Not just that, other military objects. But they mentioned air base since the very beginning. Yesterday, during OPCW meeting, leadership of that organization started saying that we only have to investigate what happened in Italy, but not at the air base. I don't know, I cannot understand why. Because United States also talked about the air base investigation, and Syrian authority are ready to assist. These discrepancies create the picture that something is not clean. When we talk about visiting the place of incidents,